Hello and welcome. In this video I'm sharing with you how to make the basic bodice pattern. This pattern is just a base to make shirts and dresses, but it's not meant to be sewn on its own. The measurements you'll need are your bust circumference plus 4 cm for east, waist circumference, shoulder width. For the neckline, don't measure too tight. Bust point to bust point, bust height, across back width and back length. For this particular pattern I'm using a tracing wheel. For the back bodice, draw a rectangle that's 1/4 of the bust circumference by the length of the back. For me it's 24 by 42 cm. From this point mark 1/10 of the back length, that is 4.2 cm, and trace a line from what's left of the rectangle divided in half. You're going to end up with the neckline, the shoulder line, the armhole line and the waistline. From this point mark 6 cm inwards, and from this point mark 1 cm upwards and make round. From this point trace a line to match the shoulder line. On this line mark the shoulder length, that is 14 cm. Mark the middle of this line. From this point mark half of the across back width. For me it's 18 cm. From this point trace a straight line and then make a round shape to make the armhole. For the dart, subtract 1/4 of the bust circumference minus 1/4 of the waist circumference. For me is 24 minus 18. That's a total of 6 cm. Divide the 6 cm by 2. 3 will be the size of the dart and the other 3 you're going to mark inwards on the waistline. From this point mark 3 cm inwards and then match these 2 points. From this point mark 10 cm, that's the bust point to bust point, and from these 10 cm trace a line upwards. From this point mark 1.5 cm to each side. Match the points to draw the dart. This is how the finished back looks like. Now let's make the front of the bodice. For this we will take the back bodice, trace all around up to this point of the armhole. From this point of the armhole trace a line 4 cm downwards. This is for the bust dart. Now trace the rest of the bodice, placing the armhole of the back bodice on the 4 cm point which is marked. From the shoulder line mark 2 cm downwards and trace a line. Mark the neck point using the back bodice. From this point trace a line downwards, that is 8 cm. This is 6 cm of the neckline plus 2. From this point mark the 10 cm of bust point to bust point. Trace a line upwards. From this neckline point match the line we just drew at 24 cm, that is the bust height. From the center front trace a line passing through the 24 cm point. From this point mark 2 cm upwards and 2 downwards. This is the 4 cm of the dart divided by 2. Match the points to make the dart. Make a round shape for the neckline. Cut all around but leave a space where you drew the bust dart. Now we need to close the dart. Fold it downwards and with a tracing wheel mark the shape of the dart. Like so. You're going to be left with a sort of triangle shape at the end of the dart. Now you can finish cutting the bodice. To make the waist dart, mark 1.5 cm to each side from the bust point to bust point mark and match these points. These are the front and back basic bodice finished. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.